Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm David Mustonen, Director of Communications for the Dearborn Public Schools. Joining me, our Supervisor for Safety and Security, Mr. John Leacher.
Hey, Dave, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know, John and I, we've got a great assignment, and that is we've been asked to go around the district and kind of share with everyone the work that is being done by literally dozens of people in our district to put a plan together, work on the logistics and the planning of how our schools are going to look once we start bringing students back, whether it be a hybrid model or something a little bit different than that. We have to have certain procedures in place. There's been a lot of people working on that.
Absolutely.
So the first thing that obviously, before we can even walk into one of our schools, is that we're going to have to mask up, correct?
Absolutely, David. Mask up. It is a requirement. It is something that we are requiring of all of our students and our staff alike. Anybody in the building has got to have a mask on at all times. Now, of course, there could be a medical reason why someone can't wear a mask, and as long as there is documented proof that a student or staff member or anyone in our building can't wear a mask, we will of course abide by what the doctors say. One of the other things that we're doing that I think is important as well is we are limiting people in the building to only essential personnel. Now, we absolutely love the fact that our community is so involved in our schools. We love parents coming in and out of our buildings, and under normal circumstances, we would welcome them as we always do with open arms.
Yep.
But in this case, and because of what we're dealing with, at least for now, we are limiting personnel to just essential people.
Great. And, you know, John, I think there may be a little bit of confusion sometimes about, can we require masks? And absolutely, the Dearborn Public Schools, we are requiring masks.
Absolutely, David. And again, because we believe that we need to be as safe and keep our students and our staff as safe as possible, we are requiring that masks be worn. And I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a great call on the part of the district, because the Wayne County Health Department believes that that's what we should be doing as well.
Perfect. You know, there are other things that are going on in the schools that are going to help us move around the schools safely, keep that social distancing. Let's go in and see what's going on here at Oakman and how they're going about doing that.
Sounds great.
So John, I noticed as soon as we walked into the building here, there's a table. It looks like there's some forms, some things we have to do. What's going on here?
So you're visiting the building and you want to come in and you've got some business here, and we're expecting you. So when you come in, you're going to be required to fill out one of these screening forms. It's a self-screening form. Basically ask questions that are kind of laid out by the Wayne County Health Department. That's how we develop the form. The form's in English and Arabic, so it's pretty easy to use. So basically ask, have you been running a temperature? Have you been in contact with people that have COVID? Basically questions like that. And then after you filled out that form, we're going to take your temperature. We have a touchless thermometer here that's very easy to use.
Perfect.
Get your temperature, make sure that you're not running a temperature, and then also have hand sanitizer here as well in case you need to, just take that extra precaution, make sure those hands are extra clean before you go on about your business.
Now, what about students? Are they going to have to go through this every day as well?
No, our students will not have to go through this every day. One of the forms you'll see here on the table, Dave, is a screening agreement form for parents and guardians. Once a parent or guardian fills this out, we will have available for them, again, at the guidance from the Wayne County Health Department, a screening form, a screening tool they can use with their child. Basically, they are committing to and promising that they will go through that screening form every single day. Again, similar to the questions that are asked of the adults when they come in on the hard copy, this will be done at home, so a child does not have to come in here and be screened every single day.
And here at Oakman, we've got great friendly staff right here helping out.
We absolutely
In a
do.
lot of schools, this may be going on in the office because you enter right into the office.
Absolutely.
But this is going on at every school.
We are doing this at every single building in our schools. That's correct.
Great. Let's move on to another part of the building and take a look at how they are actually physically dividing up the hallway to keep kids moving here at Oakman.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Okay.
So Dave, different parts of the building are going to call for different ways to kind of keep our traffic separated. So in this part of the building, you can see we've actually used physical barriers here at Oakman to make sure we keep traffic moving in the same direction on either side of these barriers. In the main hallways, we've done something a little bit different. If you want to walk around the corner, I can show you what that looks like.
Sounds good.
So Dave, as you can see out here in the main hallway, it's really easy on a nice hard surface to run a piece of tape right down the middle, indicating where the one-way traffic goes on each side of the hallway. You can also see here that these nice pieces of tape here that indicate 6 feet apart is just one of those reminders that reminds our students and staff alike that we're supposed to stay 6 feet apart as we're walking down these hallways.
Perfect. I also noticed there's some signage over here to let people know your side goes one way this way.
Yep.
My side goes one way this way.
Absolutely.
I'll see.
Okay. Oh, and Dave, hey, don't forget, we need to make note of this here. We've got more signage here. Again, wash your hands in front of all the restrooms, making sure that when our students go in to wash their hands, that they're making sure that they get those hands good and clean. Again, we've emphasized how important it is to make sure that we wash our hands, and that's the primary way to make sure that we keep ourselves germ-free. So I just wanted to point that out to you, and we can move on to the next thing. Let's go.
Well, I think this hallway at Oakman says it all. We've got one way on each side, 6 feet apart, a big yellow line. John, this is looking like a little bit like a busy interstate.
It does look like a busy interstate now that you look at it, but you know what? I think it's also reflective of all the hard work that's gone into making sure that our kids have as safe a start as possible. Part of our Safe Start to School plan, Dave.
You're right, and there are a lot of people who have been working on this, trying to figure out the logistics, because not only about student safety, it's also about staff safety as well. And we need to move slowly, cautiously, as students start to come back into the classrooms. You know, Jen, we've been doing a few of these, traveling around the district, and we've talked about transportation and signage and cleaning. We want to make sure that everybody's checking out our Dearborn Public Schools YouTube channel, where all of these videos will be posted, because it's great information for everyone.
Absolutely.